Being a yes person is really looked down upon these last couple of years. And yes, it should not be that your boundaries shift and move and you fall slave to others and your surroundings. You can't always say yes, but you should try to say yes as much as you possibly can. Grab your jar, grab your juice. It's Tuesday, and I have something to say.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Being a yes person to crazy opportunities is always beneficial. You push yourself into new experiences with new people and enlarge your world so much. Saying yes can look different in many ways. Saying yes to spending time with new people you wouldn't usually hang out with. Some of the best people I have met, personally and life lesson wise, were some of the stereotypically worst people ever. Honey, a bad habit is a bad habit, and you can't take that away. But I do believe that life has enough problems, and you shouldn't indulge in something to make it even more difficult for you. If you can avoid it, do it. Avoid it. Some people with the worst habits have the best souls. Highly sensitive people are more prone to addiction and overall more romantic and philosophical in their views of life. This is one of my favorite parts about talking with all kinds of people. The different views on life that you get is absolutely amazing. A lot of these conversations has helped me grow into a more fulfilled version of myself. Seeing life is more in a more fun way and more romantical way. This would have never happened if I stayed convenient or conventionally better or good for myself. This has also led me to a really good question that has shifted most of my mentality. Do I really dislike all these things, or was it just told to dislike them? I would never have tried out on my being a yes person to new experiences that I would have never tried out on my own was not only expanding my view of life, but also greatly increased my general joy and curiosity. I've discovered so many different new hobbies and things that I like by just going off on a random adventure completely blindsided. Please do not blindlessly follow anything and rather do it in a safe, blindlessly way. But going to new things you know little to nothing about often leads you to great experiences with greater wonder. This makes the experience more impactful and sometimes a little bit overwhelming, but in the best way possible. This helped refine my views and definitions of everything. It also broke me and my entire sense of reality. I realized I did not enjoy being as good as I used to. I did not enjoy doing what I was supposed to do or be the right thing, and a lot of the time, the large part of my being was drawn to the morally grey side of things. It wasn't bad or evil, but it wasn't exactly entirely right or good. The more I experienced this life, the more I realized I wasn't as squeaky clean as I thought. I experienced life, the more I realized I wasn't as squeaky clean as I thought. I liked bad things. I was a long life people pleaser, and this, who grew up in an extremely religious space, this threw me for a curve. I was based a lot of my character in what other people wanted from me and how I was supposed to be. And it was really difficult to shift that mindset and realize that I wasn't exactly this good person. I tried to meet the standards and expectations of other people who couldn't even meet the standards themselves. But unrealistic standards are also something you should say yes to in degree. It also told me that I have way more grit and power than I thought. Saying yes to deadlines that made me nervous and doing things that scared me just made me stronger in the best way. Best way to learn is by doing something, experiencing it, and just jumping in the deep end from the start. Experiencing it and just jumping in from the start is one of the best ways to learn some crazy valuable skills like adaptation and fast learning. You have to figure it out quickly and do it right the first time because you don't have space for a mistake. You can't afford it. The mistakes are often usually more impactfully rewarded, and it's really embarrassing, which helped me learn not to do that faster. It was also a drastic experience, and I strayed away from for it so quickly. Sometimes doing the wrong thing first tells you that you are supposed to go the opposite way. You know, it really takes out the large push of which way to go and says, hey, this, the other way. So it helps a lot to kind of narrow it down a little bit. Adaptation is one of the most prized skills in the story of life. Fitting in everywhere you go and being able to talk to anyone and everyone, fixing problems on the go and forcing yourself to only address what is in front of you. This will give you not only the otherworldly confidence, also comfort in your own skin, because your home is then where you make it. Saying yes to every opportunity that passes over you forces you into new situations that you will not and cannot prepare for. Trust me, not a single one of those shower arguments will be able to help you out in your time of need. This is all going to be new, and you're not going to know what to say or to do, which is why it's important that you do it. You have to learn and adapt. The only best way to do that is through exposure therapy. The world isn't as half as bad as it looks through the lens of social media, or for the most part, and a lot of what is portrayed is not within the close circle around you. Some of it will be there, but it will be a lot less than you'd think. Understanding how people are and how you can make them comfortable and easier to connect with relies on experience. You will have to talk to thousands of people, and every conversation will have to be a yes. You have to experience every experience has to be experienced honestly and openly. A full yes. Being a yes person means throwing yourself for the wolves and discovering that you have been one all along. You have to reach your darker, uglier side and go to the things that you hate, just to know that you do, in fact, hate them. Try doing things that would scare you in that would scare the Victorian church. Just a little bit, if you told them. Discovering yourself means exposing yourself, and we all need a little bit more of that. What's your next yes adventure? Leave your 2 cents in the comment pickle jar below, and I'll see you next week. Bye.